Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to be back together again. This is Anjahlia Marisa Shihan, your favorite shaman, cosmic shaman, and seer. And I'm looking forward to sharing our very first SEERship number 5, channel number 1. And the title is Opening a New Doorway to Creation. And this is something I pre-channeled all our titles earlier. And so it's fun when we come up to the title itself because there's always something new that's going on. And in this semester, I've offered in the very first sharing of some different links. I'm recommending that everybody has a morning meditation. And we have the threefold flame that I've used before that's also available for free on my website. And you're welcome to use that one for meditation. But I offered the ones that we did in one of our last SEERships that was very powerful. It was Maitreya's meditation. It was the flame of unconditional reflection. It was so beautiful. It was extremely profound and almost like mirror-like, and held a lot of the transmissions of the universal law of reflection. And Mother Mary gives a very beautiful matrix of reharmonizing. It was phenomenally profound because there was like a sun in your heart that was radiating and just pulling out all kinds of cellular memories and anomalies and implants and soul fragments and creating this feminine state of allowing, of no mind, of emptiness, and of awareness, and this deep silence. And it's something that I've consistently for years been aware of in my own process and in our ascension pathway, because basically our SEERship programs are about our ascension as a human being, as a counterpart to the multidimensionality of our true nature, and with the earth and Mother Earth and the new earth, and becoming the new human, and becoming guardians of this planet. So that basically I see us as holding hands in more ways than one. It's almost like we become a great merkaba together. And there's so much to tell you about merkabas, but I just wanted to finish about these meditations. So I suggest to do them in the morning, and they will really set you into a more enlightened state, because basically we're trying to change all of our belief systems and become more enlightened, more illumined. And our unicorn horn and our unicorn body is a state of the feminine. Really, it's a feminine principle. So the more we awaken this feminine is part of, I think, the higher purpose of our evolutionary plan. And it doesn't mean that when you're a man that you don't have a feminine side, or that if you're a unicorn, that doesn't really, it's affecting it's more of about the quotient of love and the quotient of the feminine principle. So we all hold it. And in fact, my understanding is that we've basically been traumatized for 5,000 years when this experiment of the feminine like moving away. And I wanted to show you in the picture of the blue universal Mother Mary that's on our handout. This is by Nicholas Rorsch, and he's a spiritual mystic painter from the turn of the century. He was Russian, and he lived in the Andes, or the Himalayas rather, but he painted a universal blue mother with a veil. And a friend of mine was sharing that is because showing the veiled feminine, right? And so now she's lifted her veil and she's present. And so in my own understanding, we're all needing to receive this feminine allowing, this being, and this state of emptiness. And the doing in the masculine has been part of the Piscean era, and now we're in the golden enlightened area, golden illumined area of this time period. And so I think it's something that we all need to embrace. Anybody who is a doer and a constant scheduler, it's something to look about with their meditations, with their practices of this creating space. And sometimes having an illness will create space for you, or having sometimes an accident or something that allows the shift in your everyday life. But something to review and think about in your process of self-mastery, because we are on a path of self-mastery in our unicorn seership and our light ships. So what else I'd like to mention is that this time I've channeled for everybody joining us. There are 2 ascended masters who are overlighting their process. And so at the end of each session, I've been giving homework assignments, which are really just questions about what you received during this session. And it's more just to remind you of what happened, because it is a very highly experiential frequency. You can tend to just not know what happened. And so it gives you a little bit of a memory boost, and then you can share the next time we come on and ask questions or just say what that felt for you. And the thing I'm working with this time with our process is for you on your own to journal about your session and the activations or the initiations or the journeys that we go on. And then also to work with your masters and start to get to know them and channel right, automatic right. We had a training in one of our seerships that I can put on this next one coming up that has a little audio about sitting in automatic writing, channeling. And that is something just to start getting used to, because if you're a journaler, like that, when I started meditating and I was a journaler, I would journal and I would channel. I just started channeling, and it was kind of shocking and frightening because it didn't sound at all like me, but amazing things came out of me from the automatic writing. It still may be one of my easiest formats of channeling. So what we're going to be doing tonight, I'm going to just give us a little overview before we begin. And I recommend everybody has some water to drink, and I like to use some essential oils to begin with, as you know that I'm addicted to that. And this is called the opening a new doorway to creation. And when I was channeling it, the journey we were taking was to Alpha Centauri. And I really don't know a thing about Alpha Centauri. And I was really excited because Alpha Centauri, I'm just going to read you what I Googled. Alpha Centauri is a nearby multiple star in the constellation Centaurs. It is the name of a binary star system, and it's actually the closest one to Earth. Extraterrestrials from the Alpha Centaur system are particularly scientific and technologically advanced, processing great theoretical knowledge that they endeavor to instill by inspiration into Earth scientists. That's funny. In fact, according to the Explorer volumes, this star system is directly involved as a portal from the Creator, which is, I thought, whoa, this is amazing, because we're doing a new doorway to creation. And it said, life in effect comes forth from Alpha Centauri. And this is by a woman named Noelle Huntley. But that to me was very exciting. And it's just exciting to get to know these different portals. And as a master seer, I've been told that this is part of the work, is to take people etherically to different portals on the earth and in the stars and retrieve different things that we need. And now as we work together as a group, we're creating a merkaba. And also in this, I'm just showing you my star tetrahedron that I put also on the paperwork. We were speaking about that yesterday, these different geometries, and they come into the work. And the star tetrahedron is one of the meditations we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to give you again like a little beginning of what we're going to do. And then when I'm in it, I'm just continuing to channel direct. But I pre-channeled the beginning parts, and I'll read them in the half channel. But we have a beautiful beginning with Babajhi, Mahatma, Quan Yinn, Maitreya are building a merkaba of transparent gossimer tranquility. And then we have, I'm not going to read all of it because I'll tell you about it later. And then we'll have a dispensation of the emerald blue star tetrahedron, which opens the stargate Alpha Centauri. And then we'll be journeying to Alpha Centauri to discover a lost longing for the creative source connection within ourselves and within all things. And we'll be finding out what exactly that means. And I'm going to show you this beautiful diagram of, I don't know if you can see it very well, of a blue and emerald star tetrahedron, which they often show around the body. And so there'll be a core teaching by Babajhi, and he speaks on the fragments of love, finding the elements of this important factor that creates an internal development that is the star awaiting awakening, and speaks more about that. In the force of creation, and a matrix creation code. In the Alpha Centaurian code, there is a genome that hibernates. So we'll also be having different dispensations of creating the merkaba by Babajhi, Mahatma, Quan Yinn and Maitreya. Quan Yinn will lead us through a letting go. Melchizedek will lead us through a divine flow. And I'll be doing a sonic toning from the rivers of light from the Alpha Centaurians to prepare us for our journey. And Mother Mary will carry us with her in a process of surrender and self-acknowledgement. Then we'll be doing our journey with our unicorn team, our unicorns, the masters to Alpha Centauri, to source creation and the womb of creation with Alpha Centaurians, Arcturians, and Pleiadians. So very exciting. So let's just begin. I'm just going to drink some more water, and I'm going to use the essential oils. And as I explained before, I use them because they go directly into the olfactory and up into the pineal, and they open the higher realms. And it feels like a very ancient practice, like incense, but this way, it's just this gorgeous waft of smell. And being a fairy, I love the smell of geranium.
Can you show us that blue star again just for a moment?
Can you see it?
Oh, that's pretty. Thank you. Just wanted to get a visual.
So here we go. As we call in our beautiful collective of 22 ascended masters, ships of light, Rainbow Unicorn Mother Team, our mother unicorns and our unicorns, Babajhi, Maitreya, Sananda, Nada, Mahatma, Metatron, Melchizedek, Quan Yin, Serapis Bey, Katumi, Lord Ashtar, Blue Universal Mother, Galactic Councils of Peace, Pegasus, the fairies and magical beings, my divine presence, and more. As we open our hearts to one another, just sending a beam of love to one another. As we open the heart portal, and we create a beautiful mission hub between us, a merkaba, that each of our puzzle pieces work in perfect harmony with one another in our enlightening path, in our planetary service that we can only do together. And we ask to bring my wings around you, and you bring your wings around each other. allowing yourself to take a deep breath, harmonizing as you let go of the day, connecting and attuning your thoughts to your breath. To your beautiful crystalline core, this cylinder of light that you are. Journeying gently into your heart to connect and commune with the threefold flame in your heart, your signature. Allowing yourself to ground in your heart and move a little bit more further to the back of your heart, to embrace the back of your heart. And grounding your pillar deeply into the earth, into Mother Gaia. Feeling yourself like beautiful selenite pillar. As you may begin to see a merkaba in your heart, beloved ones. That is moving, that is shining. And then as you allow a smile to come from your face, the smile goes inwards into your merkaba, into your heart flame, into the beautiful crystal in your heart. That all we do here is to assist you in your multidimensionality, to integrate you as a bridge from the solar fathers, the great fathers. We bring the solar libraries down through the higher chakras, through the soul star above your crown, through the master eye on the top of your head, through the brow, and just calling in gently for your beautiful unicorn horn, if it's ready to appear, or when it's the divine timing. Just bringing those solar libraries through your throat chakra, through your thymus, in the front and the back. Through your heart, through your solar plexus, through your navel, your hara, through your sacrum, through the release chakras at the right and the left hips, through the creation chakras at the right and the left hips, through your dreaming womb, and into the base chakra, the root. Where a beautiful selenite, no, a beautiful obsidian disc is placed in protection. We breathe into the link chakra at the knees with the golden suns moving down through us, these libraries of wisdom. Through the link, through the anchor chakras at the ankles, into the earth star beneath your feet, into the heart of Gaia, into the magma of Gaia, the creation magma of our mother that meets and marries with these solar suns. Replicates, duplicates, honoring, marrying, loving, lighting, igniting. As we drink now these emerald elixirs up through the lower chakras and the lower realms of the heart of Gaia, the inner earth, the middle earth, the earth, so that the higher and the lower realms marry in the heart, beloved ones. As we call now for Babajhi, Mahatma, Quan Yinn, Maitreya, to join us now as they build a beautiful merkaba of transparent gossimer tranquility. Together they build something unique for each of you that you have not previously accepted, beloved ones. Together as a team, we are merging to form a new creation. It is this doorway that we will address and open over our time in this transmission. It will take several steps to bring into your awareness and consciousness the letting go process of what it is that you are harboring, any resentment that you haven't fully forgiven. Oh, good. I was having a technical issue. Another trickster was unplugging my computer. That then we can move forward with the flow. Once this is let go. It is the goal of divine flow that we are offering. And we shall bring you a dispensation of emerald blue star tetrahedron that opens the stargate of Alpha Centauri as we shall journey to Alpha Centauri to discover a long longing, a lost longing for the creative source connection within ourselves and within all beings, all things. So Babajhi speaks now. On the fragments of love, finding the elements of this important factor creates an internal development that is the star awaiting awakening. It is the star tetrahedron that we embrace in our exercise, the awakening star. Builds and brings you to a centering of home, like you have never experienced it before. Inside the walls of creation are doorways that merge and become one. So all flows forth. It is the unraveling of distant discord that we come to administer to and embrace. We are calculating that there is a small reservoir of unattainable matter, like the distant stardust that is circulating around you, orbiting around your head. It is the inner cosmos. How you are wired is how you will travel. Your destiny is to unravel, you see. It is not the failing of a program. It is the success of the unwinding process. For how can an exchange be made between all things if there is no new beginning and the ever-flowing of the overflow? It is the creative process we speak of, the unfettered awareness of the fact that we are a speck upon this universe, a very unique and important speck. And it is this infiniteness of this speck that is the spark of creation within all things. The force of creation, we say. It is the force of creation that cannot be controlled. It is an ever-flowing abundance of source creator light that marries and ignites with the love and source flame, igniting a creation code, a matrix creation code. In the Alpha Centaurian code, there is a genome that hibernates. It expels that which is not made material, as it modifies the ever accessibility of the scope of possibilities and potential in any one moment. It is a hidden gene that replicates itself, journeys into unknown realms, and acquires new information, data, and informs the creator impulse. It is a merging, marrying, bodying, and accumulating process. This is the higher genetic coding that the Arcturians and the Alpha Centaurians have well established themselves in their coordination process. It is a summary of the life expectation of the creative impulse that sparks all life, we say, that is inherent as a creator being that you are. This is part of the forgotten codex. That once rallied forth ignites the higher realms to implode within the lower realms, to co-create together. In this match made by heaven. In this ascension process. We work with the marrying of the light, of the dark, of the love, of the source power. So Babajhi, Mahatma, Quan Yinn and Maitreya will guide us now as you breathe deeply again into your beautiful hearts. As you may begin to access an inner awareness, an inner knowing of this merkaba we mentioned earlier. It is a process that we will be activating. It is the triangles of the higher triangle pointing downwards. Moving gently through its trajectory, lowering itself. Through the antakarana, through the bridge, the soul star, the crown, the brow, this triangle moves down. It is gray right now. Through the throat, through the thymus. It sits in the heart, expanding to exactly the right shape for your physicality, your potentiality, your creator genome awaiting you. This gray triangle begins to become dimensional, more solid almost, yet shapeshifts as it turns. Moving counterclockwise 12 times to the velocity of 77777 parsec. To the octave of 7. Seven, 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 seven. Muhrima hole mai mayu malu. Dusting itself off. As it now begins to spread and open. And a light elixir is birthed as it opens to a flow. In this letting go process with Quan Yin. As she softens. Expanding beyond yourself, beyond, into the infinite. As now a rainfall begins to fall in the center of your pillar that flows and clears any heaviness of the chakras, of the throat, the brow, any perceptions, judgments, disharmonies. Cleaning our unicorn horns through this waterfall of rainbow light. Washing as you may begin to feel your unicorn in the mane. As it almost begins to emerge out of the waterfall forward. As it moves forward and into your own body, if you are ready. As it has been purified. And as we purify our bodies, we may accept our unicorn bodies to house them. As it moves the waterfall through the throat, the thymus, through your unicorn's throat and thymus. Allowing the washing of your horn and seeing sparkling dust, little tiny stars. As we hold now in our multidimensionality, our expanded upside down triangle and our waterfall and our unicorn in our own present body. In overlays. Letting go, Quan Yin says, of possessiveness, acquisition, self-neglect, retiring these to a deeper sense of peace, deeper sense of honoring. As you begin to access the transitioning of this merkaba. in a careful, meticulous manner. As we call upon the Alpha Centaurians to sing us a sonic toning of the rivers of light flowing to prepare us. Hybridizing. Accessing a divine flow, moving in a circle inside your triangle. It's horizontal. And reflecting half light and half dark. The divine interchange. As it moves now in the circle to the flow of the yin and the yang, the ever undulating, moving, inner, outer, dark, light, light, dark, light, dark, dark, light. Like the moon, half illuminated, half dark, that reflects the brilliant solar cadence. As this merkaba continues to build in its form and in its definition, pointing downwards, with this merkaba will take us on our journey. And we'll continue to build many points upon it. As Blue Mother Mary, the Universal Mother, gently begins to embody you with her blue veil, cowl, creating the triangular shape around your body. That she brings with it a deeper sense of settling in of this embodiment process. Regaining this merkaba of light. This tetrahedron. begins to spin with blue light now. Blue and emerald light. With a ruby in the center that's at your heart. That this creates a tolerance in the self-surrender process, where we are regaining self-acknowledgement. The Christed light. This creator flame that acknowledges itself. It's God's spark. Begins to illuminate in your heart. And now it illuminates into the heart of your unicorn. As you may begin to see a soft pink heart glowing inside your unicorn body or inside your own body. Stabilizing. Now we begin to feel our feet and the triangle beneath our feet. That moves up from the earth, from Gaia. Slowly moves in its own divine timing. As this triangle moving upwards to meet the downward pointed triangle in the glowing, merging, radiating center. Creating merkabas within merkabas. As now we find there's little resistance to this sense of containment yet expansion, geometry, merging our multidimensionality. And this continues its process. And begins to unfold itself in more vibrant colors, the greens, the blues. Preparing us for our journey to Alpha Centauri, the star. That's the star seeds of Alpha Centauri. We call upon our unicorn team, our unicorns, our masters joining us this segment. Babajhi, Mahatma, Quan Yinn, Maitreya, Mother Mary. Come with us. As we move together in our merkabas, the unicorns in front, and Babajhi in front of the unicorns, in like a triangle around us. We are in our merkabas with the masters behind us. Creating a great starship. A great ship of light. It opens like a mouth, and we enter like a great whale, our ship of light. With the galactic commanders. We find ourselves in a nanosecond at our destination, Alpha Centauri. And we wait to see how will we enter into this beautiful star And as we dock, the ship opens up again. We come as a team and stand upon a disc, a great selenite disc. And acclimate ourselves to the frequency of this disc, of the dimensions. Necessary. As we ask permission to be gently guided into the inner realms, as the disc begins to drop like an elevator, very gently, smoothly, through the depths of Alpha Centauri. And we open a beautiful, light-filled world. Full of wonder. Almost like bubbles that have a skin, that are moving, that are flowing in this atmosphere. And as we become accustomed to this atmosphere, we can recognize many shapes and forms dimly. Beautiful hybrid shapes and genomes, glyphs and formulae. Is this as if this atmosphere is a type of technology in itself? It is a great formless creation, you see, that has this sense of no beginning or end. As everything is forming, merging, transforming, rectifying, recreating, exchanging, communicating. In elaborate helixes, spirals, tonal frequencies, vibrant sparks of light, as beautiful sylphs, sylph creatures, sylph ascended beings begin to come towards us. Many, many come towards us from above and simply glide and stand and kind of glide towards us and come around each of us. There is one on the right and one on the left. And let us bow to these ancient ones. These Alpha Centaurians. Pleiadians. And Arcturians. That have created a hybrid ketone, a modular reinforcement that is something we are being blessed with. They speak of the hybridization of these great gifts. And they begin to take us and we float upwards. As we move to the orifice of a great volcano. And here we are hovering above the volcano, one by one. And a voidal field wraps around us. We acclimate ourselves to this voidal field. Of creation. We are all hovering at the orifice, the top of this volcano, acclimating ourselves. As we are wrapped and encased in a cocoon. We are being cocooned by voidal mothers. By Pleiadian surgeons. Arcturian doctors. Hover around each one of us, administering to our cocoons. We are in a deep state of hibernation. It has a sense of emptiness and resiliency at the same moment, of stillness yet of expectation, of wisdom. beyond a thought or need to question. Allowing this state of accelerated commission to vibrate deeply, to accelerate the quotient of DNA helixes to a potential of 22. In concurrence with your divine plan. Feeling this in your bones, in your spine, in your root chakra. It is a sensation only, void of information, but clarity of awareness. That there is an acceleration inside the incubation process as it begins to heat up around us. The temperature rises. And we become aware of there's a heat below. Great creation matrix. Of magma. It draws through its sheer impact of temperature an alchemical contribution, a type of exchange. As the Pleiadians and Arcturians, Alpha Centaurians administer cooling elixirs, like honey around the outside of the cocoons. Like propolis that is protective yet nourishing. As we are being nourished from the outside and the inside, as we are accelerating our life expectancy to our commission. that this is a type of accelerating remembrance. That from deep inside, a saturation point is addressed. We're an accumulation of magma. Activates a tiny door geometry inside your core, atop the heart, opening up a new corridor. To the enlightened realms that is accessible and is encoded with our multidimensionality, with our signature, with our source code. And the God I. The God I of the brow and the master eye begin to see inside the darkness, inside the womb of creation, into the infinity, into the cosmos. We see a star system, a home base. And knowing that we are eternal. We have survived many, many lifetimes. That we are co-creator beings. Giants, ships, fairies, unicorns. Elven serpents. illumined. That we now match a more illumined, concentrated consciousness, forgiving, anchoring, living as one unified field. Of this newness, this oneness, this creation matrix that we are, that we house, that we came here to anchor, to manifest. As the Star of David, the dodecahedron, the principles of compatibility, of the truth of the creative process runs deep through our veins, our cell walls, our DNA. As we say, let us scry now with our horns in the figure 8 in the front of this cocoon. As we open a new doorway, scrying now in a circle with our horns, opening this doorway that grows larger and larger and larger, like a great womb. And that it fills the space infinitely, ad infinitum. And that as we continue to scry, the light begins to birth from behind this giant womb or this eye of God, through the iris, into the sight of something unseen, and new. That is awakening. It is filling us with expectation. We carry with us now this perfect complement It is the truth of our true nature that brings through grace, harmony, and truth. And that out of our heads begins to flow a spout like a fountain, that we can recognize ourselves as a more distant, loving extraterrestrial, or a sylph that has made this transition and found itself home in its heart, that it can see through the eye of the womb of all things, know itself in continuity, in its own eternity, that it can breathe into the constant exchange necessary as our merkaba begins to grow in its frequency, in its solids, with the lower triangle becoming more solid with the upper triangles, and the multidimensionality of our tetrahedron begins to birth and float up out of the cocoon, still sharing hive consciousness and the connection to the mother, to the father, to the creator. That as we access this planetary commission, we join together as missionaries, stewards, starseeds of Alpha Centauri, of the hybrid, of the new human. It was brought back an ancient, lost part of this creation cycle in divine alignment to the divine blueprint. And we find ourselves as a spectacle of this newness that will continue to grow inside of us, to mature, to enlighten. And so we thank all that came here, that helped us, all the Alpha Centaurians, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, our unicorn team, the masters, the mothers, the creation mothers, the sylphs, the creation fathers, that we go with a full and generous heart. In our merkabas of unity, to bring back this essence of Alpha Centauri, this harmony, this grace, this truth that transcends limitations, births itself anew as the co-creator, Gene. We came here to find. We thank this storage house that we have received as it anchors inside of our multidimensionality, our merkabas. We bow once more into our unicorns and the unicorn mothers, the rainbow mothers. And we fall into our group with Babajhi and the unicorns, all of us in our merkabas and the masters behind us, and we enter into the disc that takes us up to the top atmosphere of the planet. And we acclimate as the ship comes again like a great whale with its mouth opens to us. We enter into our ship, and in a nanosecond we find ourselves back. So we have entered into our own homes, our own spaces, our own bodies. That we will come into a deeper knowing that this has been a privilege and an honor. That something new has evolved. And we thank you for your service, for your guardianship, and for the planetary service we do for ourselves and for this new earth, for the codes of creation, for the mothers and the fathers, for Gaia. And we ask that this works within you in the most gentle, kind way, and that you can write in your journals about any of your beautiful exchanges or reflections or understandings or activations. It's a very sensual, frequency understanding that's inside of you, that you've embodied so many things in this 2 hours. What shall we do as we continue in our next SEERship 5, Channel 2, our next step together as a unicorn merkaba sent by divine will? That's so connected to what we just did. Very interesting. I look forward to more planetary service and the acceleration of our truth. We love you. We see you. We hear you. We are you. Namaste. See you next time.